Hello YouTube, Arrow Assassin here today, and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a Red Paladin guide, as this is what you guys want to see. And let's dive right into it. First row, Zeal, Righteous Verdict, or Execution Sentence. I would go either Righteous Verdict or Execution Sentence. If you've been watching my other Red Paladin videos, you've seen I used both. I was a huge fan of Execution Sentence for a long time. I played that, and I loved it. I loved combining it with Wake of the Ashes, but I decided to go Righteous Verdict because a friend he really wanted me to play Righteous Verdict, and I've just fallen in love with it ever since. I've hit like 140k Templar's Verdict with this before. It's just having that nice Templar's Verdict damage is increased. These are nerfed in PvP as far as I remember, but yeah, it's still pretty nice regardless to get this, plus combining it with a few talents like Wake of the Ashes for more Templar's Verdicts, because as soon as you use Templar's Verdict once, it stacks again, and it stacks again, and just combining it with all that, it just makes it really nice. So either way, this is pretty much up to you. Either if you want to use Execution Sentence or Righteous Verdict, you can use that. Next row, Hammer of Wrath or Blade of Wrath. These have been my two favorite talents in this row. If you're being kited a lot, and I know some people are really irritated with being kited, so I have a feeling Hammer of Wrath might be better for you if you hate that. I prefer Blade of Wrath, but that's just me, because it's extra increased damage and the cooldown has a higher chance of course, being reset. Next row, none of these are bad, but I prefer Fist of Justice because your stun can come up more faster, and especially if they trinket your first stun and you get it up faster, there's nothing they can do for the next one, and you can get a kill in it. I've faced so many Red Paladins on several tunes because I play multiple tunes, and it's very scary when a Paladin can get that second stun on you, because they can pretty much usually get the kill in that, depending. But Repentance has been good in arenas. I've used it in arenas before, as well as some of my friends who play Paladin. Blinding Light is also pretty good. It's like I said, it depends, I guess, on the situation and how you look at it. I've seen Reds use this in everything, in AB. So, yeah, it's like I said, it's up to you. Next row, Wake of the Ashes, I feel like it's the only good talent, in my opinion, in this row. The other ones are just not up to par, in my opinion, because you can combine it, like I said, with Righteous Verdict, etc. Next row, this is up to you. If you want to go struggle a little bit against melee, which you really kind of shouldn't. Red Paladin's pretty good, in my opinion, versus melee. They're one of the strongest 1v1 classes, so I don't really find a need to really use this that often. I don't really see many Reds use this as well, but that's up to you if you want to switch to that. Next row, not next row, the last two, sorry, my brain is all over the place. The next two are Divine Steed and Unbreakable Spirit. If you're struggling with mobility, go with Divine Steed. I know that's the biggest complaint with the Ret right now. I go with Unbreakable Spirit because I like the reduced cooldown on Divine Shield and Shield of Vengeance, because Shield of Vengeance is really nice defensive plus offensive sometimes, and of course Divine Shield, having a lower cooldown on that is really nice because it's one of your main defensives. Not to mention, I'll go over why in a brief second later on. Next row, I go with either Selfless Heal or Word of Glory. I used to always use Word of Glory, and a friend was like, you gotta try Selfless Healer. Because I was just like, I did not want to use Selfless Healer. I was like, I could just use 2 heals, because I know it stacks and stuff, so I decided to give Selfless Healer a shot, and I've used it pretty much ever since. But Word of Glory isn't bad either. It's just up to you. Do you want to use Word of Glory or Selfless Heal? The thing with Word of Glory is you sacrifice a little bit of damage because it requires Holy Power. But it's just an extra defensive. It's up to you. Personally, I like both of them, but that's just me. Next row, I use Divine Purpose because if you get a proc, you can use more Templar's Verdict, and since we're running Righteous Verdict, we'll get even more damage, because you never know, like a proc, and you'll get proc after proc after proc. I think I've gotten like 3 procs at once before. Obviously, it was just luck. You never know for no proc, but having that extra proc is just really nice. Inquisition would be my second go-to choice because it increases your damage and your haste. So, it's up to you. But with this build specifically, I would honestly probably go with Divine Purpose. If you want to go with Inquisition, I mean, you can do it anyways, but like I said, it's probably better with you running Righteous Verdict with this build for Divine Purpose. But if you want to run Inquisition build, I would probably go Execution Sentence and Inquisition, of course. But that's just my opinion. But what you're seeing right now, this is the main build I usually run with. But the other build is what I usually run with is Execution Sentence. And I usually keep pretty much the rest the same, to be honest. Sometimes I'll switch out for Hammer of Wrath. Inquisition sometimes too, but I just prefer Divine Purpose, honestly. So that's just really me. Now let's go over honor talents. My favorite 5 honor talents are Law and Order, Ultimate Retribution, Hammer of Reckoning, Jurisdiction. I think I said that wrong or right. You guys have to forgive me if I say things wrong. It's just something I really struggle with. Divine Punisher, and that's pretty much it. Oh, I also like Blessing of Sanctuary, so technically 6 talents. What honor talents you're seeing right now are the ones I usually run with, but if you're solo out in the world, obviously you don't want to run Ultimate Retribution because it'll never proc. So, for the most part, I'll probably run Jurisdiction or Blessing of Sanctuary, and then maybe Divine Punisher, but for the most part, Jurisdiction will probably be my other go-to choice. Because like I said, if you're solo and say War Mode, then it's not going to proc. So it's basically a waste of a talent slot. But in Battlegrounds, always love Retribution because it's just procking after procking and procking. You'll have wings up almost all the time because your teammates will obviously be getting low. Yeah, that's pretty much it for talents. Now let's go over stats. My stat priority is Mastery and then into Haste. That's pretty much what I stack. I stack Mastery just pretty much like my other tune because I like to hit harder. It's just, I'm somebody who likes to see big damage, so that's the whole reason why I run Mastery. Haste is for the extra, obviously, for the lower cooldown stuff. That's really about all there is to it. After that, it's kind of like it's up to you. I'd probably go Versatility. That's probably like my other thing I go with. Yeah, see, I have my gems and Versatility and all that stuff. So that's my stat priority. Short and sweet. That's really about it. Mastery, Haste, and then Versatility and Crit. Azerite traits. Here's the thing. I have a lot of mixed run. The ones I have right now is probably my most favorite combo. 1 Avenger's Might on helmet with Light's Decree. I got this helmet from the Conquest, so you can just capture Conquest and get this helmet. Or if you have a PvE helmet, it doesn't even matter. Just as long as you have these traits. You don't have to use this. I'm just saying what works for me. So 1 Avenger's Might, 1 Light's Decree. I have a Gut Ripper because it's pretty much my only choice besides the other ones being tank and all that stuff. And then I have 1 Divine Storm one. And 1 Relentless Inquisitor, which increases your haste. So I found these 4 to be my favorite, at least having 1 of the Divine Storm and 1 of the haste ones, because that way your haste will be better, because like I said, I've been stacking Mastery, so having more haste from 1 Azerite trait will be really nice. And not to mention, having a free Divine Storm inside a huge group is just way nice, even if it's only 1. So like I said, it's free Divine Storm. It's like, why the heck not? I'll take it. So I only have 1 of these, and I only plan to get 1 of these. The rest I'll stack Light's Decree and Avenger's Might. Unfortunately, my chest piece right now only has a Judgment one, so I have 2 Avenger's Might. Indomitable Justice, I wouldn't really recommend. I feel like it's not that great, but this is me personally. So, basically, to recap, short version, in case I confused any of you. Stack Avenger's Might and Light's Decree, and I would get at least 1 Divine Storm one, and 1 Relentless one, because honestly that's my favorite combo. But if you main ret and have a favorite traits, let me know, because I'd be interested to hear it. Last but not least, actually not last but not least, 2 more things. Let's go over races next. I'll start with Horde. As you can see, Zandalari. I'm not going to deny it. Zandalari Paladin is pretty much really OP, and the reason why it is you can do this. Pop your bubble, pop regeneration. If you don't know what regeneration does, is it regenerates your health to 100% maximum health by 6 seconds. Everybody's been talking about regeneration, and regeneration is probably by far the most overpowered on Paladin. I have pretty much every class Zandalari except for Priest right now, and I've barely used it really on pretty much any of them except for my Rogue and my Paladin. Like, the other ones I just haven't really found a spot without getting dots on me or anything, so yeah, Paladin Zandalari is definitely, in my opinion, probably the best for Paladins, simply due to the fact of regeneration. There's no denying it. That's pretty much it. Second, I would say Blood Oaths, because you could have that Purge. That's really all there is to it. And then Torn for the last one, because they're not really all that great. War Stomp DRs, obviously, with your stun, so this just doesn't seem like all that great. That's it. And keep in mind also, this is all my opinion. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Now let's go on to the Alliance. I would say Dark Iron is first. I've played Dark Iron Paladin, and the burst they can do with wings. I macroed the Dark Iron ability with my wings, and the burst you can do is insane. Obviously, it shares with the trinket, so it's not necessarily the smartest play. So choose wisely on that, but having that extra damage for a brief moment is pretty awesome. After that, I would say normal Draenei, because having an extra heal and the extra strength is nice, so more damage, more heals. I'd just say overall that's my second most favorite race on the Alliance. Third, I would say is probably, it's kind of a tie for me right now, but I would say either Dwarf or Human. I'm not sure which, so I'm just going to put them third and fourth for that, with however you want to take it. Human is good for the extra free trinket, and Dwarf Stone Form is pretty nice for the extra defensives and removing all the buffs. Last but not least is Lightforged Draenei. I just don't feel like they're that great. Their ability requires you to die. It used to be insane. I have videos of it up showing how insane it is, but after the nerfs and stuff, I just don't feel like it's as good. Their Holy Light thing is okay, but nothing too spectacular. That's my list on the best races. Now let's go over rotation. This is, keep in mind, my rotation, so if you have anything better, feel free to put in the comments to help out anybody else. Yeah, so what I start off with is obviously Blade of Justice, and then I do a Judgment, pop my wings here, get a Templar's Verdict, Wake of the Ashes, Templar's Verdict, got a proc there, go ahead and use that, Templar's Verdict again, Judgment, Crusader Strike, Templar's Verdict, and usually for the most part, everything's either dead by then, or that's really about it. They're usually pretty much dead by then, at least for me. So, basically, all you gotta do, after what I just showed you, is just keep up with your procs, use your Crusader Strikes, to build up stuff, Judgment, and then Templar's Verdict. It's pretty much just like I said, use your procs, build up your Holy Power, Templar's Verdict, and then so on and so forth. You want to try and do it fast though, so keep it in mind, because if you're running Righteous Verdict, you're going to want to keep using that because you have 6 seconds to use your next Righteous Verdict. Like I said, this is just what works for me. This is what you guys wanted me to do. And let me know if this helped you out. And I will see you guys for the next one.